My name is Brittany Frazier, and I'm a librarian at Enoch Pratt Free Library. Today I want to show you how to use a database. And the database that I'm going to use is called Gale and Context Elementary. Sometimes you might see this called InfoBits too. They're the same thing. So right now, I would like to start out by just saying maybe we have a project or a homework assignment about animals. So I want to show you how to find information about animals. So the first thing I'm going to do is scroll down here and click on animals. Now let's say that we want to learn more about a Komodo dragon. The first thing that we need to do now that we're on this page is decide what kind of animal a Komodo dragon is. Is it a bird? No. Is it a mammal? No. I'm pretty sure it has scales and a tail. I'm pretty sure that makes it a reptile, right? So let's look under reptiles. So I clicked on that button, and now I'm going to look and see if I can see a picture of a Komodo dragon. So I see alligators, I see chameleons, I see frogs and geckos and crocodiles. Oh, there's no Komodo dragon here. But that's okay. It still might be here somewhere. So what I can do instead is go right up here to the search bar and type it in. So Komodo dragon. That looks promising. All right, we did our search and bingo, it looks like we found some things. So now is a really good time to stop for a minute and think about the kinds of information that goes into a database and how that's different from just looking around the internet for this information. So right now I can see that I found some book articles. When I see up here at the top, it shows me I found 5 book articles. I found a news article, some magazines, and even some pictures. But if I did this same search on the internet, I would come up with hundreds and hundreds of things from Spotty. Who is Spotty? Spotty is some person on the internet. If I went to Google and I typed in Komodo dragon, I might come up with something from National Geographic, which would be really cool and exciting because those are people who are scientists talking about animals. But I might also find something that's just a person writing down their favorite things about Komodo dragons. Now, is someone's list of favorite things a fact? Not really, right? If they're saying that I just like the way that their skin looks, and I like their teeth and their big tongues, that's not something that you would write down in a report, right? Because it's not really a fact. Or I might just find somebody's pictures that they took while they were at the zoo. So that's not something that I would really want to use in a report either. So whenever I look inside of a database, it's a lot different because this is all information that was written down by people who are experts, who are scientists, who know these animals. And most of the time, if I'm talking about a book especially or a magazine, that means that somebody has checked that information to make sure that it's a fact. Most of the time, when books are being published, whenever they're being printed out and somebody puts a cover on it, someone has to check it to make sure that it's true. And the same goes for magazines as well. And then a librarian even looks at it too before it goes into this database. So we want to make sure that everything is as true as we can make it. Usually, it's about 99.9% true stuff in here. And the reason I say 99.9 instead of 100% is because sometimes scientists are making their best guesses about things and they're using all of the information that they have. but they might make a wrong guess about something, or they might miss a fact about an animal too. So even though it's as true as we can make it, sometimes scientists are wrong too. That happens occasionally. And then we learn more in the future and we add new and better information. So this is the best way that you can do a report. You can ask a librarian for help to get to a database, and then you'll know that it's as real as we can make it. So let's look inside one of these book articles. I'm going to click on this first one here. So here I see a picture of a Komodo dragon. It's a pretty cool picture. And then it shows me some words and some definitions for those words, and then all kinds of facts. And if I want to make extra sure that this came from a book, and maybe I want to try to find that book even so that I can read some more, I can look down here where it says source citation. Source citation is just a fancy way of saying that this is where they found the information. So right here it says that there was a part of this book, maybe a chapter or a section called Komodo dragons, and that the book was called Plants and Animals, and that it was published by Gale. And now it shows me it's inside of this database too. Sometimes your teacher might want to know where you found your information. They might want to know what your sources are. And you can ask your teacher how they want you to write that down for them, or you can print out this information right here, the source citation. You can even write it all down on a piece of paper too. And now I want to show you some fun things about this database. So let's say first, maybe these words down here are too big for you or too small. So I can make them bigger and smaller. I can go up here, see this capital A, it's a big A. It says I can make the text bigger if I click on it, or I can make the text smaller too. I chose to make it smaller. And then we can click right here on the speaker button to listen to it being read aloud to us, which is pretty fun. If I want to try to read it in a different language, I can translate it too. Let's say I want it to be, let's choose Spanish. There it is. Pretty neat. I'm going to cancel so that I can get it back in English. And there's one more thing that I want you to notice here too. So if you are a younger kid, maybe you're in kindergarten or first or second grade, this article is level 1. See how it has a green box with 1 dot inside? That means that it's easy information, and it's going to give you some definitions at the top too. But if I go back and I click on level 2, it will make it a little bit harder. So this might be if you're in second or third or fourth grade. See, I even get a different picture. And now the facts and the information that I can see down here is a little bit more complicated. The words are bigger and I get more information that maybe someone who is younger would have a hard time understanding. That is one of my favorite things about this. If you wanted to print this out so that you could write down the facts or show your teacher, you could click on this print button right up here at the top. Okay, let's go back. So I could click on more things. This one right here says that it's from an encyclopedia. I can scroll all the way down to the bottom and see which one it came from. It says the Britannica Student Encyclopedia. So now let's try searching for something together. Now that you've seen me search for things, I would like for you to try searching for something too. I want you to try searching for information about tornadoes. Where would you start? Would you start with animals? Or art and music? Maybe plants? What about health or science? If you're guessing science, you're right. Let's start looking there. Now we get to decide what the next step should be. Would tornadoes be in space? Or maybe earth science? Earth science is close, but I see something that's even closer. What about weather? If you guessed weather, you are definitely right. Let's take a look. Okay, now I'm going to look and see if I can find a picture of a tornado here. I think I see one. Here it is, tornadoes. So this is just one way to find information about tornadoes, but I also showed you a different way. Where would you look if you wanted to search for tornadoes? Here it is, the search bar. So let's try typing it in. Aha. That would have done it. That would take us right back here. Do you want to test it again? Let's make sure it works. There we go. So now you have some practice with searching a database. That's a pretty impressive skill, friends. It will help you with your schoolwork and with life for a long time. Now, if you'd like to see some more fun things, I encourage you to poke around on this website and try clicking some different things that look interesting to you. Maybe you want to learn more about plants, or maybe you just want to read the latest news. Let's click on news up here. You can see that we have some articles from Kids Post, which is a kids newspaper. You can click on pictures and look at pictures from around the world, or you can watch videos too. And parents, the best thing about this is that it's all very safe for your children. You don't have to worry about them finding something that's not age appropriate, because all of it has been carefully selected for kids. I hope you had fun and you learned some new things with me today. Thank you so much for watching with me. See you next time.